Hello, this video has been prepared to provide DET CRC's AGM with a summary of our activities over the 2013-2014 year and up to the present. During 2013-2014, expenditure in mineral exploration continued to plummet in Australia and internationally. Expenditure in Australia in the June 2014 quarter was $444 million. That's 34% down from the June 2013 quarter and less than half the $1.04 billion of the March 2012 quarter. Globally, budgets for non-ferrous metals exploration dropped from around $15 billion US in 2013 to around $11 billion in 2014. Very concerningly, for the discovery of major new Tier 1 deposits, budgets for brownfields exploration surpassed greenfields for the first time. This environment saw Goldfields and Newcrest indicate that they will withdraw from DET CRC. Both companies indicated that the withdrawals reflected cuts to exploration budgets and changes to corporate strategy, not DET CRC's performance. Despite the withdrawals, which reduce our budget by $2.8 million, DET CRC still anticipates exceeding its original revenue target by about $8 million, thanks to new sponsors and grants. We've had to make a number of difficult cost-cutting decisions as budget allocations for Phase 2 projects were made in anticipation of receiving full funding from Goldfields and Newcrest. But despite those cuts, we remain confident our objectives can be met because approved projects will not have their funding cut. Considering our three pillars and cash and in-kind numbers, coiled tubing drilling remains a $15.6 million project, downhole sensing a $4 million project, and Labbit Rig a $10.1 million project. David Giles will summarise all the important technical highlights later in the video, but I do want to mention a study by NextGen Geological which suggested total programmed drilling costs for our CT rig may be 85% lower than total costs for diamond drilling. Olympus have been so engaged with the Labbit Rig project that it seems hard to believe they only became another participant in October 2013. In joining DET CRC, Olympus are contributing an additional $400,000 cash and $800,000 in kind. Perhaps even more importantly, Olympus are contributing technical expertise, including scientists from the Mars Curiosity rover team, to the Labbit Rig project. DET CRC's executive team has been stable over the last year, and it's been a great pleasure for me to work with our CFO, Ian Hardwick, and our three program leaders, Soren So, Brett Harris, and David Giles. I think the team, and more broadly the group of around 100 contracted researchers, are highly focused on their respective projects, and that we all understand how they link together to build our vision of the future of mineral exploration. In September, Peter Kank took a new position within Boart Longyear as Senior Manager, Technology Development and Integration. We all thank Peter for his key role in helping establish DET CRC and for his work within it over the last 4 years, and we wish him well in his new role. An important decision at next week's Science Steering Committee will be whether we proactively seek a new project integrator or hold off filling this position given the evolution of DET CRC to its current suite of projects and the need for savings. Project leader and Labbit Rig champion James Cleverly moved from Cyril to IMDEX during the year. James is a key figure in DET CRC, not only as a passionate leader of the Labbit Rig team, but also more broadly in terms of our overall philosophy on the future of mineral exploration and with his experience of previous CRCs. We are delighted that IMDEX will provide James in kind to the Labbit Rig projects, such that total resources to the projects have actually increased with his move to IMDEX. Yulia Uvarova of Cyril will take on the key leadership role for our Labbit Rig work at the end of the year. With respect to James's move from Cyril to IMDEX, we're delighted that collaboration within DET CRC has played a part in such permeability between research organisations and industry. Such staff moves play a key role in transferring technology from the research labs to commercial products in the field.
DET CRC's key communications event is our annual conference. We held our third annual conference, Uncovering the Future 3, in November 2013. We had 161 delegates attend, and half of those were from industry or end users. A highlight was the launch of the prototype of the world's first coiled tubing drill rig for mineral exploration by the Honourable Tom Koutsantonis MP, the South Australian Minister for Mineral Resources and Energy. This rig is featured prominently in our research during the year. Our conference this year will again include a day of talks and demonstrations at the Brikanga Bazaar. Our demonstrations at the bazaar continue to evolve as our research progresses. We'll be providing real-time demonstrations of our downhole autosonde and top-of-hole lab-at-rig sensing projects whilst diamond drilling is being undertaken. We'll also provide a demonstration of our coiled tubing drill rig. We hope you can all make it to the conference next week. We hope you still enjoy receiving our quarterly e-news, Explore, and the associated slide pack that it is sent with. There's a huge amount of technical reports and papers on Centric, our project management system, and during 2013 to 2014, 290 documents were added, taking the total number online to over 700. Because there is such an enormous amount of information on Centric, we've started sending out a monthly summary of new reports and papers that we hope makes life a little easier. Less technically detailed, more overview type material is summarised in our press releases, as news items on our website and on our YouTube channel, DET CRC TV. 9 new videos were uploaded to DET CRC TV during the year, and I particularly recommend to you the 6 brief new drill bit videos that summarise aspects of research progress. DET CRC TV videos went from 8,000 to 14,000 views over the year, so we feel that these are a great means of communicating. Here at DET CRC, we're always on the lookout for new communications initiatives. So if you're a researcher or a sponsor, you're wanting to promote your work or learn more about what we're doing, please feel free to get in touch.
DET CRC's education program has been a great success. We set ourselves the ambitious target of enrolling 50 postgraduate research students. We have now exceeded our target with 51 postgraduate students. That's 49 PhD and 2 research master's projects that are just one part of DET CRC's research. We have now had 6 completions with another 3 expected before the end of the year. In addition to the postgraduate research students, 49 honours students and 7 coursework master's students have also completed projects on DET CRC related topics. As you can see, it's a major program, and I'm very proud to have taken over as chair of the Education and Training Committee during the year. In addition to our approximately 100 contracted researchers, to date there have been in excess of 100 honours, masters and PhD students involved with DET CRC research. I am now particularly keen to ensure our large cohort of enrolled postgraduate research students are successful and that we also hit our key target of 40 postgraduate research completions. The Education and Training Committee reviews student progress quarterly, and during the year we introduced a voluntary mentoring scheme. Around 80% of our currently enrolled research students have industry or end-user co-supervisors. We feel that the mineral exploration industry into which they will move will benefit from our students' industry focus due to both their involvement in our applied research and through their enhanced interaction with industry personnel within the CRC. I'd like to congratulate Mohammed Dressed Kamyab and Masood Mustafi, both from Curtin University, who were awarded Merriwa scholarships, and also University of Adelaide students Karen Wolfe and Charlotte Mitchell, who both won prizes at the South Australian Exploration and Mining Conference. Karen also won a prize at the American Institute of Professional Geologists' 50th Annual Conference in Colorado. Finally, on the vocational training side, the Brikanga Drilling Research and Training Facility continues to be very well used, and the VET programs run by our affiliates, the Australian Training Alliance and Training Prospects, have now seen 343 driller trainees utilise the facility.
I'm pleased to report that DET CRC's financial position remains sound and that we're tracking ahead of our original targets in all material respects. Cash receipts are 7.8 million ahead of the original Commonwealth Agreement of 27.8 million to this stage, due largely to new sponsors and grants. In-kind contributions received are also well ahead of our original Commonwealth Agreement due to strong engagement with our industry partners who, in Phase 2, are providing almost half the research effort. To date, DET CRC has met 56 of its scheduled Commonwealth milestones. The withdrawal of Newcrest and Goldfields leaves a shortfall of $2.8 million compared to our internal budgets. The necessary savings will come from a reduction in funding to the project integrator position and other head office savings, a reduction to the Opportunity Fund, a reduction to and realisation of the unspent VET budget, and replacing the planned Project 2.3 with a South Australian Government funded project entitled Real-Time Drill Site. I'd now like to make some comments about commercialisation activity. During 2013-14, we offered 4 technologies for commercialisation. Commercialisation proposals have now been received and agreed for all 4, with 1 licence agreement now fully executed, this being for the IOCG Prospectivity Index, which has been licensed to IMDEX. Since the end of June, an additional 3 technologies have been offered for commercialisation, including the lab at rig. And finally, DET CRC has lodged 2 provisional patents relating to the wireless sub and autosonde, and 2 trademarks relating to the lab at rig and the autosonde. I'm very excited about the year ahead as we move to execute a number of new licence agreements, including in the 3 key pillar areas of downhole and top-of-hole sensing.
DET CRC reached the halfway mark of its funding period during 2013-2014, completing our Phase 1 projects and commencing 8 Phase 2 projects. Phase 2 research has a strong focus on our 3 key pillars and on the experimental infrastructure required to develop them, namely coiled tubing drilling, downhole sensing with the autonomous sonde and shuttle, top-of-hole sensing with the lab at rig, and the Bracunga Drilling Research and Training Facility. 80% of our Phase 2 cash has been allocated to these 4 projects. Our most important outcomes are those related to research. We have prepared what we consider to be our top 10 research outcomes for 2013-2014. We conducted our first drilling experiments with the prototype coiled tubing rig at Bracunga using a Toro downhole motor and a Wasara hammer. These experiments utilised steel tubing and achieved penetration rates of up to 50 centimetres a minute in fresh rock. First trials were conducted with coiled flexible tubing, drilling from a depth of 70 to 90 metres. The flexible tubing was mounted on the LX12 multi-purpose rig at Bracunga. Test samples of carbon fibre tubing were assessed for resistance to bending events at Curtin University's bending testing facility. The carbon fibre tubing underwent 2,700 bending events without failure. In comparison, steel tubing failed after 1,500 bending events under the same conditions. We achieved a 300% improvement in rate of penetration for full-face diamond drilling through granite on our test rig. The experiments were conducted at rotation speeds of up to 7,000 RPM and low weight on bit, between 250 and 500 kilograms. Our wireless floating sub has undergone successful field trials on the SC9 drill rig at Bracunga. The sub provided accurate, high-frequency data of sufficient quality to enable real-time monitoring of bit rock interactions, which are vital to optimising rig performance and bit life. Two new prototypes of the autosonde, designed for deployment in RC drilling, have been built and tested at a BHP iron ore site in the Pilbara. We were able to identify key marker horizons in the stratigraphy. A prototype autonomous shuttle fitted with natural gamma and pressure sensors has been fabricated and successfully trialled at Bracunga. Centimetre scale portable XRF analyses of drill cuttings generated during diamond drilling and validated against drill core from the same sample interval have provided evidence that the lab at rig system can achieve decimetre scale depth fidelity. The cuttings were carried from a depth of 350 metres to the surface in drilling fluids and separated from the drilling fluids by the IMDEX solids removal unit. There was extensive field testing of the autosonde and the lab at rig system in the Geoscience Australia Geological Survey of Victoria regional drilling project in the Staveley Belt of Western Victoria. The data show remarkable correlation with drill core and with wireline logs, with major lithological changes as well as subtle variations, including alteration, chemistry and mineralogy, clearly evident. The lessons learned will feed into perhaps our most exciting challenge for 2015, our collaborative drilling with the Geological Survey of South Australia to map a mineral system beneath barren cover. Our final highlight is growing recognition that the vision of coiled tubing drilling combined with real-time downhole and top-of-hole sensing will enable a prospecting drilling strategy. That is, multiple holes progressively vectoring towards deposits in a single drilling campaign that will dramatically improve mineral exploration success. We presented a keynote paper and workshop on this theme at the recent Society of Economic Geologists conference in Colorado, both of which were well attended and received positive feedback.
In closing, I should mention the government review of the CRC programme, the deadline for submissions to which was yesterday. We've engaged strongly with that review, and I very much appreciate the submissions made by our sponsors. Whilst we'll watch its outcomes very carefully next year, I believe it's unlikely to affect the current 2010 to 2018 term of DET CRC. Rather, it will influence the nature of any scheme into which we might wish to bid in the future. Despite withdrawals and government reviews, I and the rest of the executive team could not be more enthusiastic about what DET CRC is doing. Writing our annual report, preparing this video and our annual conference is my favourite time of the year, as we get such great opportunities to show our sponsors what we're doing and discuss our work. In these extremely challenging times for mineral exploration, I want to thank our participants and affiliates for their continuing support. I have never been more confident that we will deliver major productivity benefits to conventional drilling through rig monitoring and real-time downhole and top-of-hole sensing. Not just revolutionary, cheaper, faster, safer and more environmentally friendly drilling via the coiled tubing rig, but also the scientific and technical underpinning for prospecting drilling. Thanks for your support of DET CRC. I believe we have made outstanding progress in uncovering the future of mineral exploration during the year.